Hello, my name is Joshua, and you're watching Let's Roll It, tabletop gaming information and news. Today, we are going to talk about role-playing games. Yes, that is right. We are going to focus today on role-playing games. First off, I'm going to tell you of a battle report. I recently had the chance to try out the Iron Kingdom's Full Metal Fantasy role-playing game. It's different, but I enjoyed it immensely. The character creation is different than what I've experienced in the other role-playing games I've tried. Usually that involves six-sided die and rolling for your particular attributes. In this, that is not what you want to do. That's not what you can do. Because all of the all of the races start out with the same primary stats. And then you can pick and choose which one you can choose. You get 3 points that you can use to kind of divvy them up, and then depending on the race, you may get other benefits and negatives that alter how it, that will alter how everything is. So I find that to be a very intriguing concept, having everybody kind of start out with something similar, and then you kind of morph it into what you want, as opposed to randomly deciding some of the stats, which you may have some that are super low, others that are super high, and that kind of actually determines the type of character you create. This comes at it differently by narrowing down your character to your archetype, which is like, are you gifted, are you mighty, are you intelligent, that kind of, or skilled. And then from there you can choose your careers based upon what you have. Certain careers paths, you have to have certain archetypes or whatever. I, on the other hand, when I was picking, chose the careers I wanted and and then everything else was kind of filled in, because being a warcaster, well, first off, being a Stormblade and then a warcaster kind of limited me to being a human with a gifted archetype, which I think is pretty cool. I have got to play the character out a little bit. Still working on my role-playing. I'm very much a listener and an observer. So I try to step out and do other things, but it's difficult because partly I don't know the history of this world. So I've been doing some reading for that. And then the role-playing is interesting. It's a little different. Just because it's set in a world that is torn by war. And it's just not a very nice seeming world. And I found that the character advancement is a little different, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, because each level you're told specific areas. Sometimes it's an occupational skill, sometimes a military skill. And honestly, sometimes you're developing these skills that, well, yeah, I'm never going to need this particular type of a skill, this etiquette skill, because there's somebody else doing the talking. Or there's some skills that just seem like, okay, we're going to be doing this just because we have to do these skills. And then you're very limited in what you can do. Yeah, when you're in that first, they have 3 different levels. You have the hero, the veteran, and the epic. And you can have a maximum of certain numbers in each skill set. I believe it's like hero level, you can have a maximum of 2 in the skill. Veteran, 3. Epic, 4. And so that limits to the extent of how strong your character can get. Now, if as you advance in levels, the enemies kind of are leveled up correspondingly, then I guess it would work out. I just find it to be a little odd to have that type of a system, and plus getting the experience, it's not necessarily about, okay, I killed these guys are worth this experience. It's more about, we came, we played as a team, or certain types of things along those lines. But ultimately, I enjoyed it. And when it came down to the actual battle, it was like I was playing War Machines, except I'm controlling one character, and we're trying to work together And so it's like this mixture of D&D, you're surrounded by enemies, but using similar types of terrain that we'd use for the War Machine game. It felt like we were playing War Machine, except with some slight differences. So all in all, I thought it was a fun game to play, and I look forward to trying it again whenever we're able to get together again. So I'm glad that Privateer Press released this, because I think that this is going to be a fun game to work on, and it's kind of cool being able to kind of play right out of the box without having to buy anything else. There's so much stuff available just with their No Quarter magazine, and then it looks like there's people also developing some stuff on the forums that you can use to help give you guides and stuff for these adventures. So I give it 2 thumbs up. It's a blast. It's different. There's some things that are a little odd, but all in all, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was fun. Now, Pathfinder. They have their adventure path, which is pretty much you get a monthly subscription where each month they give you an adventure that you can go through, and it's like part of a 6-part series, which is why they call it an adventure path. And I think it's kind of an interesting way to do that, because it gives you a chance to, if you're getting together at a regular basis, you have new material, so you don't have to worry about, okay, what are we going to do for their next campaign? You have some stuff that's just coming to you. And just looking at how they have it, right now they're in the middle of the Shattered Star adventure path, which pretty much the idea is in the land of Verissa, where the beginner box is a Sandpoint city kind of is. You have this relic from the ancient past, this star that was split into 7 different shards. And in order to protect this land from an ancient evil that's beginning to awaken as a result of the Rune Lords of the previous adventure path, you, at least I think it was from the previous adventure path, you have to go and find these pieces and protect this land. So it looks pretty interesting. And one of the things that I like is they have the miniatures line. When it comes to miniatures, Pathfinder has this idea that, hey, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, buy our cardboard prawns, which are pictures of the characters. If you want to buy pre-painted plastics, we're working with WizKids to provide you with our current adventure path. They did one for Rise of the Rune Lords, and now they've also have released them for the Shattered Star, or have planned them for the Shattered Star. And then if you want unpainted miniatures, Reaper is providing you with those. So you have quite a bit of different ways to approach doing the game. You can just spend $20 and get all the characters you need, or you can get the random boosters of WizKids, which I don't quite get since it's not really a game. Or you can spend the money, or you can get the actual miniatures from Reaper and then paint them yourselves. So it's nice that they're giving people an option. And I like the idea of the adventure path just because I like having a guide to do it. I mean, I've never actually created my own. I've tried with the beginner's box, but it's kind of hard to describe everything in a way that you can move an adventure along. But it is kind of fun trying to do that. And now, with Dungeons & Dragons, it's not really about the new, it's about the old school. What they've done is they re-released the original first edition core rulebooks in premium binding, looking pretty cool, so that you can, with the original, some of the original type of artworks, you can kind of see where Dungeons & Dragons came from. And then they have also released the 3.5 with a current errata, which I think is kind of phenomenal because 3.5 seems to be Dungeons & Dragons. I've heard quite a few people say that they don't really like the direction that they went with the 4th edition, with the way that they kind of changed a few things around and really designed everything to be like, if you're a certain character, you're going to advance in a certain way, but other characters will advance in different ways, and it feels a little more convoluted. And I've known quite a few people who switched from D&D to Pathfinder as a result. But then you have those who say that Pathfinder is just an overpowered 3.5. You know, I don't know how to judge that really, since I'm still kind of new. I've only been doing role-playing games for about a year now. But I just know that I liked most of how 3.5 worked. A couple character classes that I thought didn't advance very good. It just felt awkward to me. Specifically, the monk and the cleric something doesn't seem right with how they advance. And it seems that Pathfinder tried to correct that and tried to fix some of those things, made monk a little bit more of a class that somebody would want to do, because one of the problems is, especially early on, monks are not as powerful. And so they kind of changed some of those things around. But it's nice having the variety, you know? You get a system, you open it up to people, and then let people create their own system. I think that's cool. Because you have still some of the base core stuff, the six dice rolls to create your tributes. So I like that. I think that it's interesting seeing that they're reprinting it. I know I've been looking for 3.5, but it's a little expensive, so I haven't really been able to get it. But I like the idea of it. I've enjoyed playing it immensely, and look forward to the second campaign. We're just finishing up our first campaign. This last summer has been very sporadic, but it's fun. I enjoy getting together because you're kind of hanging out with people, you know, having fun, talking, and I've really developed a good friendship with these guys that I play D&D with that I never would have had before. So, well, that's it for today's show. My name is Joshua. You can email me at letsrollatgaming@gmail.com. I am trying to work on a website. I've got pieces of it done, but it's hard to find the time to do that. But I am working on it. And I hope to have it done by the next episode, or at least presentable by the next episode. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Again, my name is Joshua, and you've just watched Let's Roll It Gaming. Have a great night.